Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome, dear students. We have, alhamdulillah, accomplished our semester and we have passed by through our units. We studied different things. We passed by the grammar, the formating and function, the vocabulary, the conversation, the reading and the writing. And now we are just to go back and just enlighten and have a kind of enrichment on what are the things that we have studied throughout the semester. So we are going to start with our first enrichment, which is in Unit 5. The basic topic was about advertisements. Now in Unit 5, we had the grammar lesson, which was about adverb clauses. Now we are going to focus on adverb clauses just to revise here and see what we have studied. Now, just to remind you, what is an adverb clause? It is a group of words that function as the adverb of a sentence. So it's not just one word, but a group of words together. So if you can recall, we have here like these examples. Everywhere I go, so this is the adverb clause. Everyone looks at my new car. Advertisements use statistics in order to sell products. Since that basketball player wears that brand, everyone went to buy the brand sneakers. That advertisement says that stains can't be removed unless you use the new detergent. Now, do you remember when we said that if the adverb clause is in the middle of the sentence, we do not add the comma, but if it is at the beginning, you have to just separate between the two clauses using the comma. Now, you can remember here that we had the two types. We have here dependent and independent clauses. And if you remember that we compared the two clauses like a baby and a young man to know what is the role or who depends on the other. Now, here in these sentences, we know that they can come anywhere in a sentence. They contain a subject and a verb, and they begin with a conjunction. So would we say that we have here, because of the sale, everyone went shopping? Because is the conjunction in the adverb clause. So what's the point? Now you can see that we divided the types here into 4 types. Now we can focus or we can mean in our sentence the reason or condition. We can also refer to a place or the purpose in the sentences. Now we have here in these adverb clauses, we're going to just apply here. Now you can see in the table that we have here the reason, the purpose, the condition, and the place. Now we're going to decide together what is meant in the sentence or what is used in the sentence. So we have in number 1, they used Roger as their spokesperson because he's famous. Now here the tip is to look for the conjunction here or the adverb clause. Now you can see that we have here because in the sentence, so here we have a reason. And number 2, wherever we go, we are surrounded by advertising. Now it is very clear from wherever that we have place. I bought the face cream since it will help my skin look better. So where's the conjunction here? You can see that we have here since, which means reason. If you have a good advertisement, people will buy your product. So we have here, yes, there is a condition, if. Number 5, they are planning to sell the juice everywhere they can. Now from everywhere, which is going to be, or we can see that it is actually the easiest among the 4 parts. Number 6. The company made a commercial in order to sell their new product. So where's the conjunction? Now we can see that it is here in order. So we have a purpose. I'm going to buy it at the store unless I can get a better price online. So we have here unless is condition. And the last sentence here, now that the internet exists, I never go to the mall. So we have here now that, which shows that we have here a reason. Why don't you go to the mall? Because we have internet or online shopping. So here it is structured in another way. We can see that we used now that. Moving on, We have here an exercise. Now circle the correct adverb to complete each sentence. You can see that we have here 2 adverbs. Now we're going to just read the sentence and decide based on the meaning that we have here. They were sold out, the new chips, so only if because they were on sale. So we have here, what do we say? Do we say only if or because? Now the chips are sold out. So you can say that because they were on sale. They put a coupon in the weekend newspaper to or wherever attract customers. So we have here, there is a reason. Why do they put coupons? So we have here, we're going to use to. If or because you want to go shopping, I'll go with you. So we have your condition, if you want to go shopping. And the last one we have here, I decided to use conditioner so that or now that my hair wouldn't be dry anymore. Now you can see that we have here so that. Moving on. Number 5, I'm going to buy a new computer only if or since my old computer crashed last week. So why did you buy a new computer? Here we have reason, so we're going to use since. Many people buy bottled water even if or so they can drink the water from their tap. So here you can't drink water from the tap, but even though people buy tapped water or water is in the bottle, so we have here even if. Unless or everywhere you go, there are things for sale. So you can see that we have here go, which shows that we have here an easy option. She only buys organic foods now that or even if she has food allergies. So because she has food allergies, we have a reason, so we're going to use now that. Now we have here. Here we have another exercise. Now in this exercise, we are going to read and just correct the errors. You're going to read the sentence with me and we're going to discover what is the mistake that we have here. Let's just see the first one. Because of it was late, we were tired. So what do you think? We have a sentence and there is a mistake or an error. So we can underline here and see that we have here, yes. So we have here because it was late, we were tired. And in the second one, I'm bringing an umbrella in case needed. Now there is something missing here. In case I need it. Or we can use another pronoun and say in case we need it. Let's do number 3. We have here, he put on his glasses unless he could see. So what's the mistake here? We can see that we have unless is incorrect. We have here, we can say that so that he could see. We have here the fourth one, where I live, it's hot. So it is a very short sentence here, and we can see that their structure is incorrect, and we have here, it is hot. Now this is an easy exercise that we're going to complete here. Number 5, they are creating new ads order to sell their products in Asia. So there's something missing here. To read it again, we can see that we have, yes, there is something missing, and we're going to add in order to sell. We have number 6, even if he will hurry, he will still be late. So there is something wrong here in the structure. We can see that there is a mistake here, and even if he will, or he will hurries. So we have here, even if he hurries, he will still be late. Now what is the mistake here? You can see that we have in the other clause, he will still be late. So can you use will twice in the same sentence? Of course not. We have here the future clause in one part, and we have here with if there is the present simple. Number 7, we put the milk in the refrigerator now that it won't spoil. Is it correct to say it? So we have here, the mistake is going to be here. We say instead, so that it won't spoil. Number 8, now that I cell phone, I can call my friends anytime. So here, Now that a cell phone, there is something missing here. Now we can see that we can just add a helping verb here, or a main verb actually here. So we used have as the main verb. Now that I have a cell phone, I can call my friends anytime. Now remember from the last sentence here that there are some auxiliary verbs that you can use also as main verbs. Now we're going to move to the other part of our enrichment here, which is the form, meaning, and function. So if you recall the structures that we studied also in the form, meaning, and function in Unit 5, yes, we had conditional sentences. Now before we start, the main thing that we have here between the grammar and the form, meaning, and function is the idea of clauses. Now we know that clauses are two ideas or two parts actually in one sentence. Each one has an idea. And as we mentioned that we have here dependent clauses which do not give a complete meaning, and independent clauses which or the part that can give a complete meaning by its own. So we're going to just relate to what we just passed by and see the other part of our lesson here, or the enrichment, which is going to be about, we have here conditional sentences. So of course the first thing that we know that conditional sentences, yes, they have if as a basic part in the sentence. Now just think about it. Do you remember anything that we said? Do we have to just use if, or can you just replace it with another word? Now we're going to pass by and see. Now, a conditional sentence is composed of two parts. We have here the if clause and the main clause. So you can see in the example, if it rains tomorrow, we will not go out. This is a conditional sentence. We can see that the if clause, if it rains tomorrow. Now just think about it when we say if it rains tomorrow. Does it give you a complete meaning? On the other hand, if I just tell you we will not go out, this gives you a complete meaning, which means that this is going to be the independent clause and this is going to be the dependent clause. Now, altogether, they give a complete meaning here, or a complete sentence. We have here, if it rains, using the present simple with if. And in the other part of the sentence, we will not go out. You can see that we have here will, and after will, there is the base form of the verb or the affirmative. Now let's just read together and refresh our memories. There are types of conditional sentences. They are classified according to their specific implications. Do you remember what we said about it? Did we just take one type? No, I just show you an example of the first degree, which shows that there is a result. If it rains, we will not go out. This is the result. Was this the only structure that we studied in our lesson? Now let's just revise and see here. Each type of conditional sentences use different tenses to show the difference in their implications. So if you recall that there was the other type, which was the zero conditional, just try to remember and know what are the structures that we used. So I'm going to help you here. We have the first degree. We said that we use the if with the present simple. And in the other part of the sentence, in the other clause, or the main clause actually, we have the future tense. Now just recall, what do we have in the book? Now here, you can see that we have conditional sentences with if. We took the two types. We have zero conditional and the first conditional. Now, we could replace if with, this is one point that I mentioned before. So, do we have to use if? Of course not. Sometimes you can replace it using either when or unless. But do not forget, when do we use unless? There has to be negative in the sentence. So, you can't buy that dress, for example, unless you really need it. So, when you say that you can't buy the dress, this means that we have here negative, unless is the sort of condition. Now we have also studied other forms. We have here may or might with if in the sentence, and we have here I'd rather or I'd prefer to show, of course, preference in the sentence. Now we're going to just apply what we had studied before, and I gave you the hints just to refresh your memories. Now we're going to just see here what we have in the exercise. Now in number 1, you can see that complete the conditional sentences. Use the present and the future forms of verbs. So you are going to either use the present simple or you are going to use will plus the base form. Now they have some verbs between parentheses here. So you can see that we have here, if I buy a new laptop. Okay, so let's just stop here. Do you think that we need to change anything here? What is the pronoun used? We have here I. So we have if I buy a new laptop. So actually there is nothing to change. We have here buy. I be happy. Now can you say I be happy? Let's just complete our sentence. If I buy a new laptop, I will be happy. But if I not get, so how can I just rearrange here? We can say if I don't get, yes. If I don't get one, I need to do the assignment on my dad's computer. So we are talking about something that's going to happen in the future. How can you change the verbs in the sentence or in the brackets here? We can say that I will need to do the assignment on my dad's computer. Moving on. Number 2. If it rain a lot this week. Now we need to change it into present simple. Of course, we have here the pronoun it. So we have here if it rains. The team not be able to practice for the big game. Something in the future. How can we change it? So we can say that the team will or won't be. You can say will not be able or won't. Now we have here won't be able to practice for the big game. If the weather be nice. Now also here there is if. Now we need to just replace here with a present simple verb. So if the weather is nice, very easy. The team practice every afternoon. So also refer to the future by saying the team will practice every afternoon. Now we come to the third part. Number 3, if the temperature drop below 0. So now you know that if we have if, we are going to use with if in the same clause the present simple. So we have here if the temperature drops below 0. Rain change to ice and snow. Refer to the future. We're going to say that rain changes. Now here, this is something interesting. Why did I say, first of all, in the future, but now it changes into the present simple? So let's just go back and read the sentence again. If the temperature drops below 0, rain changes to ice and snow. Is it something that always happens? Is it a fact? Is it something that doesn't change? Now, actually, if you read the sentence, you discover, yes, that we do have a fact here. So this sentence is 0 conditional, which means that we use the present simple into both or in both parts of the sentence. So here, why did we use the present simple here? Because we have a sentence that has a truth or a fact that always happens. Now let's just complete it. But if the temperature stay above 0 degrees, now we are still giving fact or information, so we are going to say that stays above 0 degrees, rain not freeze. Now remember, we canceled the idea of using the future because we are just giving facts here. And here in this part we have negative. So we have here, yes, does not freeze. Now see that in all the answers or the blanks, so that we use the present simple referring to zero conditional sentences. Moving on. Now here, you can use the word unless in place of if in negative sentences, as when I mentioned the dress. You can't buy the dress unless you really need it. So you can say that we have here other examples. Unless I study hard, I won't get top marks. Unless you exercise, you probably won't lose weight. And in the third example, we have here, unless you study harder, you will fail the test. So we have here, will fail. There is a negative meaning here. So we have here, the basic idea is using unless with negative. Now, should or might may be used with if. You can remember that we took also this structure. We have here, if you do not invite Muna personally, she might not come. So we have here something that may happen or might happen, but with condition. Now we have here the second event is not certain to happen if the event in the if clause happens. And in the second example, you may retake the exam if the teacher agrees to give you a second chance. So also you can see here that the second event is certain to happen if the event in the if clause happens. So you can see that we have here conditional sentences. Now also we studied using the abbreviation I'd prefer or I'd rather. Now here the basic or the long form is I would prefer or I would rather. Now, like the examples that we have studied throughout the unit. Okay, so let's start with our exercise. Would you prefer or rather go shopping at the mall or ride your bicycle by the lake? Now here we have two options. So based on the sentence here, we can say that would you rather go shopping? So why didn't I use prefer? But because both options are good, we can take them. But we have here, would you rather? Okay, so I'm just asking you about what is the preferable choice for you. Would you rather study or to study math? Now, one of these structures is completely incorrect. So we can say that we have here, would you rather study math or read your favorite book in the park? Would you prefer or rather going shopping in the mountains or staying in a hotel at the beach? Now here, note that we have a gerund. Now we can say going camping. Which one is correct? Do we say, would you prefer going camping or rather going camping? Now here we learned that with the gerund, we have here prefer. Number 4, would you prefer spend or to spend money on a vacation or to stay at home and buy something you need? So we can see that we have here prefer, but what is correct? Do we say prefer spend or to spend? Now here we are going to choose the infinitive to spend. Now, the last part of the form, meaning, and function here that we studied throughout the unit was the words connected with shopping habits. Now we have shopping malls, small stores, or we have here online shopping, and we have here different words that were connected. Now we did study many examples, and at the very end there was some kind of relation between the conditional sentence that we have here and the words that are connected to shopping malls and stores in general. So we have, you find a wide range of products if you go to a shopping mall. Another example we can say, if you go to a small store, you might find a more appealing atmosphere. If you shop online, you will get door-to-door delivery. When, this time I used when. When discounts start, a lot of people come to the mall. You can't shop in neighborhoods unless you find small stores. And we have the last sentence. If you pay by card, you may shop online. So all of these sentences, you can see that there are conditional meaning, and we have here different words that were in the table. Now complete the sentences with unless or when. We have here, I never take any notice of commercials unless it's about something I may need. Now you can see that I never, there is negative. Blank, you have a good advertisement, people won't notice your product. You can see that also we have negative here. So we have here unless. Number 3, blank, he put his glasses on, he could read the small print. So we have here when he put his glasses on, yes. The shops will be closed, you hurry. So we have here the shops will be closed unless. Now there is a negative meaning here. They will close unless you hurry. It's something that you don't want to happen. Number 5, the dress will look great when you try it on. And we have number 6, I'm going to buy it at the store unless I can get a better price online. So here you can see that also there is another meaning here. We have here, okay, I'm going to buy it unless I find a better price. Now, what did we study throughout our unit? We passed by all of these structures here. You can see that we passed by the adverb clauses. We also differentiated between dependent and independent. We have here the reason, purpose, condition, and place meanings that we also applied. We also passed by when and unless, zero conditional actually. Then we have here the first conditional and using when and unless in sentences. Moving on, we have here using may and might with if. We also pass by rather and prefer, I'd rather and I prefer. Reaching words related to shopping that we have in our unit. So all of these structures are what we studied in the grammar and the foreign meaning and function part. Be ready, we have lots to talk about in Unit 6, inshallah.